Hi, it's Hoshi-chan here with Anime on Location at Ohayocon 2016, here with Dino Andrade. It's been a while since we last seen you, which was Ohayocon 2015.
Yes.
So how have you been since then?
I have been outstanding. I have been terrific. I have been working like crazy. Lots of projects.
So I see here that you've worked on the Star Trek series for the video game. So how was that?
Yep. Oh, it was great. Well, as you can see here, I am a lifelong Star Trek fan. Huge fan. So when I got a chance to audition for Star Trek Online, I was thrilled. And then when I found out that I booked not one, not two, but three characters in the series, I was doing the happy dance. So no, I'm very excited, very proud to be part of that franchise.
And so what are your feelings on the next three movies coming out?
Oh, I love the new movies. I really do. They're a lot of fun, and the best part about the new movies is that they're for a new generation of fans. And I know that a lot of folks, like my daughter, for example, who is like, well, I'm not really into Star Trek. That's my dad's thing. She saw the new movies, fell in love with them, and now we're watching the original shows and so on. She's like, "Yep, I'm a Trekkie now," and so hats off to J.J. Abrams. You have brought thousands upon well, let's just say it, millions of new fans to the franchise, and I think that's great. I think it's terrific.
Bonding. So speaking of Star Trek, there will be an online series as well. Yes. So how you feel about that?
I think it's great that there'll be more Trek, to enjoy. I mean, if you were to sit down and make a list of all of Star Trek, from every episode of the TV shows, the animated series, the movies, everything, that's 750 pieces, roughly. I'm good with adding more. I'm fine with that. That's fine to me. Like everybody else, though, I have no idea what it's going to be about. I don't know if it's next gen, a new Enterprise crew, or if it's going to be like Voyager and Deep Space Nine, where it's about something entirely different. I have no idea. I have no clue.
Okay, so we're on Ohio, and it's winter. You can't tell because Ohio is really bipolar with the weather. So tell us about Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter.
Oh, yes. For Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter, I'm doing a role of Point. Thimbledorf Point, who is this dwarf who actually becomes a vampire. He's a very famous character in the Dungeons & Dragons world. And that's me. I'm going to be Point. So, yeah, very excited about that.
Sweet. So you got to work on Brutal Legends, which is a game about heavy metal and the rock industry. So how was it learning about the music industry, and how was it working?
Well, I didn't really learn about the music industry. The thing about Brutal Legend that was just so cool is that it's one of the few jobs that I've done that I didn't audition for. My agents were called by the producers of the game. They loved my work as the Scarecrow in Arkham Asylum, and they just called my agent and said, "We want Dino in the game." So I showed up at POP Sound in Santa Monica, which I think they changed their name recently, but I showed up there and I passed Jack Black in the parking lot. And I know they have multiple stages there at POP. And so I'm thinking, oh, cool, Jack Black's recording something here. Have no idea that it's what I'm working on. And I walk in, they're like, "Dino, hi, how are you? We're the producers of Brutal Legend starring Jack Black." I'm like, oh, okay. And then they laid out these model sheets and they said, which character would you like? I'm like, really? So I looked at the Reaper, which is this guy right down there, and I said, that guy looks like he's right for me. And so I did the Reaper, and they also asked me if I would also do the hairbangers in the game. And I asked, well, what are you looking for that? They said, well, kind of like stoner roadies. So you mean something like this? And they're like, yeah, that's it. So I'm all of Lion White's hairbangers in the game. And we just played and created those performances right there. And so I had no idea what I was going to do when I showed up, what the game, nothing. It was all because they loved my work in Arkham Asylum. They said, "We want Dino." I'm like, okay, cool. I'm down with that.
So they got you.
Yeah, so there was no chance for me to research the genre or anything. I just showed up.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. It's
So-
a fun living.
So you worked on Tales of Ceres and Tales of Vispra. So how was it working on that and knowing that it's only an Xbox console game?
Well, I didn't know it was only an Xbox console game, but Tales of Vesperia, it was kind of funny. I showed up for the auditions. I auditioned for the character of Ragao, and I think it's Ragao. I say I think, I mean the pronunciation. I always get that one confused. But I auditioned for it. I got it, and they called me a couple weeks later and said, "Dino, you got the part." Cool. Well, in the interim between auditioning and getting the gig, I got a really bad cold. And the cold was on the waning side when I showed up for the recording sessions. I was pretty much all done, not really contagious, but had a really terrible runny nose. So I loaded up with Dayquil, and I took way too much. And I'm a real lightweight, okay? I mean, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. So anything like that just really seriously affects me. So I'm in the session just like, yeah, let's do this, And it's one of those things where, you turn your head and the world does that. You turn the other way, So I'm all, and they're like, okay, read these lines. Yeah, let's do it. And I was a mess when I recorded that, and it was pretty hilarious.
I bet. So in the last
What's the name of
interview,
the actress who played Faye Valentine in Cowboy Bebop? Anybody remember that? I'm drawing a blank on her name, and she's gonna beat me up later. She was directing me in that. Wendy Lee, yes, Wendy Lee was directing me in that, and I know the poor creature was looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" No, I'm there, man. I'm cool. I'm all like heads all fuzzy. Anyway, yeah. So that was Tales of Vesperia.
okay, so in the last interview, you talked about your project with the Wizard of Oz.
project.
So how is that
I
going?
know it's still in post-production. I know that the producers have made several other shows and movies, and I'm expecting it to come out. So, but yeah, I am the Tin Man in that film, which is really cool because I played the Scarecrow. Now I've played the Tin Man. Now if I could just get a lion, I'll have the whole Holy Trinity. That'd be great.
Gotta have some courage.
Gotta have some courage.
So, Blizzard has been a great company to work with.
Yes.
So how was your time there?
Blizzard is awesome. I love working for Blizzard. It's one of those things where they say jump, I ask how high. They love me, I love them. I will work anytime, anywhere for those guys. And it's great because they have a habit of calling me in close to the end of the day because they know that I'm an actor that they can just throw characters at me. They know I can be handed scripts I've never seen before, have no clue, and just go, bananas with them and create characters and do all kinds of stuff. And they love that about me. I love that they let me play. We had a great time at BlizzCon in Anaheim just a few months ago. We're all pretty much just a big family now, and it's terrific. I love working for Blizzard. I'll work for them forever.
That's wonderful. So, is there any upcoming projects that your fans should know about?
Right now, I am starring in a new animated show alongside Dave Mitchell, the extremely talented Dave Mitchell, in a show called Get My Goat for DreamWorks TV. And it's really fun because the whole thing is just two actors. It's just me and Dave. And so we're bouncing off each other the whole time. And it's just this whole series of cartoons, goofy-ass cartoons, about a sheepdog with a goat that this wolf is constantly trying to get. And I'm the sheepdog, and he's the wolf. And lunacy ensues, and it's a lot of fun. We're having a great time doing that. We've already got, I think we've got something like 8 episodes in the can already, and we are recording more as soon as I get back to LA.
That sounds pretty interesting. I'm going to check that out. You should too. But is there any way that your fans could keep up to date with you online?
They could find me on Facebook. They could find me on Twitter. I mean, I'm very accessible. We have to update Dino Andrade online, but you can go there, and I'll be listing a bunch of new stuff. And I've been doing a lot more than that. I've also got national campaigns for Target and State Farm all over the radio and TV, so folks have heard me in those. I've also done a bunch of 3 major video games that legally I can't talk about, so I'll have a lot more to talk about the next time you see me, but they're huge.
Well, what do you think about Peter Capaldi?
Oh, Peter Capaldi's terrific. Peter Capaldi's terrific. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. Long time fan, from classic Who all the way to the present. And I what Capaldi has done with the character, particularly in the last season, has been terrific. Has been really, really terrific. I mean, the Christmas special they just aired was magnificent. I loved it. My favorite Doctors are a combination of Patrick Troughton, the second Doctor, and Matt Smith, number 11. They're pretty much the same guy. and I love them both. Love them both.
Well, you heard it here at NML Location. Peace.